Boys and girls, today we're going to be learning about the work of Heather Galler. She features these farmland pictures with barns and trees and lots of amazing looking rows of fruits and vegetables and all kinds of abstract variations of things growing on a farm in the farmland. Now, I don't know exactly what inspired her to do this, but I would sort of imagine that at some point she really loved the look of a barn way off in the distance and noticed that here in the foreground that the crops looked kind of large, and as they went off into the distance, the rows got narrower and narrower. And maybe when she drove by, she liked how that looked when she would pass rows of crops growing in the field. And then I would imagine that at some point when she started drawing them, she realized that if she changed the way that she drew the rows, like in this photograph here we don't see the rows so much, but here we do, that it would give the illusion that the background was much further back. It would increase the feeling of space. And then I kind of wonder if maybe she started to notice that the crops were different colors depending on what the farmer was growing. Here's some different types of lettuce, or even here. And that maybe she started to see flowers growing in a field and went, okay, now we're talking. That would make for a super cool abstract landscape. So I don't know if that's exactly how it went down, but when I look at this, it kind of reminds me of all of those things. So today you are going to be working together with me to first initially decide your horizon line and which orientation your paper is going to have. And then we are going to look at some of Heather Galler's artwork to get inspired. Now, like I said, poor things, difficult decision. The very first thing you have to decide, do you want your paper up and down in what we call portrait orientation? Or do you want it going side to side in what we call landscape orientation? I know, tough stuff. You can do it. Based on what you decide, your next choice is to figure out where your horizon line is going to go. If you look at the horizon line going across the center of this portrait orientation, you'll notice we have equal part fields and equal parts of trees. As opposed to this one over here where the horizon line is very high, well then you're going to have lots of fields, smaller trees, because this is going to be off in the distance. This is one where she had kind of a curvy horizon line, and then here having a very low horizon line gives you the opportunity to create a gigantic tree if you want to do that. Over here, if you chose the landscape orientation, you can have the horizon line being high, or you can have it being low. You could have it be diagonal, or you could even have it curved. When you sit down today, this is going to be the very first thing that you will have to do after making the epic decision of whether you're doing portrait or landscape. I know, tough day. After we do that, we're going to work together to choose houses or barns. You can even add silos. And some kids have been really wanting to know how to do a three-dimensional drawing of a house. Well, basically, if you just draw the shape as you would from the front, all you have to do is add lines that are the same length. And then what you're going to do is copy just what was on the right-hand side of your drawing anyway. We're going to copy that diagonal line, and we're going to copy it going straight down. Just like that, you can start to add your details. And again, if you want to make it look like a barn, the easiest way to go about doing that is to show it with an X on the door. Here's a sideways barn, but that will help you out. After we do your houses, whether you choose to do them two-dimensionally or three is up to you, we will start to add trees. Some of you will have space to put in a lot of details in your trees, or a few in the case of this, or tons and tons and tons. It's totally up to you. And then last thing, you can add some details like fences or a sun. So boys and girls, before you sit down, I want to just go over this one more time. You're going to choose portrait or landscape. Choose your horizon line. You don't have to do the same as me, but I'm just showing you that I drew my horizon line. Next, you choose your buildings. You can put them wherever you want. They can be big, they can be small. You can have 1,000,000, you can have one, whatever floats your boat. And then after you've done your buildings, you're going to move on to the tree section, and you'll just always refer back to your guide sheet. So I'm making my trees kind of mid-size, but if you have a lot of space on your horizon line, it could be even bigger. When you flip your idea sheet over, you'll see that there's other ideas like suns and fencing that I'm adding here. And I actually put my sun in the background. Now this is the part that I'm going to really slow it down because I want you to see. You are going to start at your horizon line and draw one line down. Then after that you hop over a little bit, but you draw diagonally. Do you see how every time I'm hopping over just a little bit, and then I draw diagonally so that the crops look like they are coming to the foreground. This is a trick with perspective that's going to help it look three-dimensional. And now I'm adding in just a few patterns, and then you'll be ready to color.